Assuming if it's not already gone. That was kind of a long intro, sorry for that. It's really hard when you have wine in front of you, like, I just want to try it. So what you have in front of you is an Alabarino, and it's from Spain, from Galicia. And the name of the winery is Galicia. Sensing the trend here, they named themselves after Galicia, Spain. Fairly new winery, opened up in 2005 by two young winemaker and business manager, kind of up and coming. They're both from the region, so they know the grape really, really well. And what I'm going to do is lead you through see, swirl, sniff, sip, and savor. God, say that 5 times after the end of this. So, how many of you have ever been to a formal wine tasting? So, some of you probably have gone through this before. So, what I'm going to do is just walk you through. You're going to look at the wine. Pick up your glass, and you don't want to hold the glass by the bowl. And why don't you want to do that?
Warms it up.
Good, excellent. So you always want to hold it by its stem. So you look at the wine, and the darker the white wine, the more full bodied it's going to be. So if you look at this wine, have you ever had like a Pinot Grigio or something? Very, very clear. This isn't real clear. So this is going to indicate to you immediately it's more of a medium-bodied wine. But a full-bodied wine, which we'll have later on this evening with the Gewürztraminer at the very end. So you're going to look at it. I kind of know I'm expecting a medium-bodied wine. Now we're going to swirl it. And the reason why you swirl is to have the aromas come out of the wine. And these fancy glasses down here on the end, I'm calling you out, I'm sorry, you brought the Riedel. All right. So the fancy glasses, the reason why they're tapered at the top is to concentrate the aromas, to send them straight up your nose. So let's swirl it, let's see what we smell. What do you smell? Anyone want to? I know we're probably shy now. Apple, yes? Citrus, anyone smell any lemon?
Yeah, citrus.
Grapefruit, good, good. And if you need any hints, just look down at your mat. If you want to impress your neighbor.
Quince.
Yeah. Quince jelly, now that's a good one. Who's ever had quince jelly? Does it smell like quince jelly? I can't say they've ever had it. Yeah, okay. That was written by some marketing person who works with Big. No, I'm kidding. Calling out Big. I have to make fun of the distributors just a little bit. Because I'm not paid by them at all. I'm independent. I can say whatever I want. Very fruity. Okay, now once we've kind of smelled, and what the smell does is get you ready for the sip. Because once you have it in your mouth, you're tasting the smells. You're not tasting the wine. Because if you hold your nose when you're drinking, you can't taste anything. It's like if you're having a cold. So what you're doing when you smell it is you're introducing all of the tastes to your mouth. Does that make sense? If there's any questions at all, even if it's completely unrelated, just raise your hand. I'm used to that. It's all good. So let's go ahead and taste. And what that means is there's a lot of acidity in it. She mentioned it's a little puckery. On the sides of your tongue, that's where you're going to taste acidity. The mid-palate is where, in the middle of your tongue, that's where you're going to taste the fruit. And in a red wine, you taste some of the oakiness and the tannins on the top of your mouth. White wine's not going to really have tannin to it because it doesn't sit on the skins. Right, I could get on this whole long road. I won't even go there. Anyway. So your mid-palate, you're going to sense all the apple, the citrus, sides of your tongue, it's a little tart, and then the finish. The finish is what you taste after you swallow. So does this have a long finish, or does it just die? Still there. So that's a sign of a pretty well-made wine. Because if the wine doesn't have any finish, it's almost like the winemaker didn't even care. It's like, I really don't want you to like the wine and have another sip. Finish introduces, wow, I really want some more of this wine. Now, we're going to have this with the white beans with onion confit tonight. And the acidity in this wine, this is a pretty rich dish, and it's a savory dish. So what's going to happen is the acidity is going to cut through that richness and balance it out. Does that make sense? So you'll see that when we get to the actual food. I'll talk a little bit more about the region, and it's an interesting region where this the Alabarino grape is grown. Alabarino is great for summer. It's great for now, especially with stews. I mean, I'm really happy when I saw this on the menu tonight. I said, wow, what a great idea to have, especially this Alabarino, because it's pretty cheap. $18 for this bottle of wine is a pretty awesome price. Think of how far it had to come. Think about that. So there's no oak in this wine. It's not oak aged in any way. Galicia is northwestern Spain, right above Portugal. It's very, very rainy, extremely green. In fact, it rains so much that the grapes have to be grown on granite posts instead of wooden posts. If you've ever been to wine country, there are always wooden posts all throughout vineyards. They have to use granite because the wood posts would rot. And it's a really interesting place to visit. And one of the best pairings for Albarinos is seafood as well. Because in Spain, this part of Spain, there's a lot of seafood there. It's right on the coast. And in Europe, a lot of the cuisines kind of match their wines. So in the United States, we're still figuring this out. So I'm happy that this class is happening to develop more of a food and wine pairing mentality.